Because that charging handle slings back, hits you in the chin.
Never.
No, I'm saying if you've got an empty gun and you tap, when you grab that charging handle, because you're racking, and it comes back and you realize, oh fuck, it's not caught on nothing, then you like dump it, because that pop of the chin lets you know that's an empty gun.
I put around in a dude, fucking closer to me to you, and fucking had a double feed. It was so bad I couldn't fucking fix it, alright, at the time. And I just fucking, luckily I had a guy pick the dude up for me, right? So when it comes down to fucking running my gun, fucking chasing dudes and fucking, or running at them, fucking, I've had to do a fucking reload, and I don't even think about it. And I don't even know fucking what the fuck happened. I can't tell you.
Well, when did you realize you had a double feed?
When I fucking tried to pull the trigger again and nothing's happening.
And then you went...
And I try to fucking clear it. And I can't fucking clear it. And I'm like, what the...
Like, you just kind of realized, like, it's a double feed.
We're talking not even a full second.
Yeah.
And I had a guy on a 50 fucking pick him up. And it was absolutely ridiculous.
If my M16 is going to go down, I certainly want a dude on a 50. That will always be my default answer. Dude on 50. Catch that shit.
How many malfunctions did you have overseas?
I had that one, and that was my fault because I was using GI mags, and I fucking loaded 30 instead of 28. I went down from 28 and I started loading 25.
One malfunction. How many tours?
When you say you loaded 30, I'm trying to diagnose this mechanically. So you got the rifle. So you have 31 in the gun. Is that what you're saying? So you had 30 in the gun. So you put in a fresh mag, stripped around. At what point? So you fired that one round and then it double fed?
I had boom, hits the guy, and I couldn't fucking keep on.
Like a bad fucking dream.
And I'm like.
So it was that second round off the mag that.
So that's the last thing that guy saw, was that face.
Yeah. And I'm like,
he saw the orgasm face.
Actually, I didn't even see him. The fucking guy, I heard the 50.
What did you have, 3 tours? 4 tours?
3 to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan.
4 tours, 1 malfunction. And you're telling me that I need to look in my chamber every
I'm not saying that's
time.
absolutely not what I'm saying.
Okay, well, thank you.
That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not saying looking in your chamber is bad. That's the other side of that same coin. If I can look in my chamber, why not? And when I say can, that's light conditions, time. Obviously, he didn't have time to look in his, I would have probably been trying, hopefully, I'm thinking, I've been trying to muzzle punch the fuck out of him.
Right.
And when you're working that gun and you're running it, and it's not on a range and stuff, you don't think about that.
And you said you were what, closer than me and you?
What do you do?
That's a completely different scenario than me, prone out over the top of that berm, popping a dude at 50 yards. And that's what a lot of people miss.
You're running your gun. You're fucking shooting fucking dudes and shit. You go dry. You go dry, right? First of all, where are you when you're shooting people? Normally.
In my happy place.
Someplace I don't want to be at, honestly.
Normally fucking behind
It's like
cover.
that Andretti commercial where there's 2 seats in the fucking race car, and I'm just fucking like checking out the chicks that are waving and winking at me.
Were y'all doing direct action shit? Y'all house clearing or some type of shit like that?
I was house clearing. That one actually happened when I was inside a vehicle, and a guy pops up, and we just stopped.
Just like by your window?
And I was like, holy, and he fucking was armed, and I was like, pow! And I was like, and there ain't nothing else happening.
It's supposed to go pow, pow!
And I was like, ah! And I'm not gonna lie, there's some freezing going on there. And that's, I mean, hours and hours and hours, days.
Why? And that freezing happened because that was the only malfunction you had. Every other time you pulled the trigger, it did what it was supposed to do. So there's that, I call it a what the fuck moment, where you're literally going like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh shit, and then you fix it.
The best thing for me to do though is grab another fucking weapon.
Oh yeah.
Because you know what? There's another guy.
I'll figure this shit out later.
There's another guy out there that doesn't want to shoot. So I'm fucking.
Give me that.
Radio operator, fucking new guy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Find a bigger gun if you can.
Like a 50.
If I got a fucking damn fucking rifle, I'm gonna grab the fucking saw. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you can get to, and that's I like that thought. Like, fucking work your way up.
Well, in that situation, and you're in a combat environment with logistical support, you're in a vehicle with other dudes with guns, multiple guns, crew serve weapon support, and that's the thing is like you were saying, a lot of people view topics like that as a zero-sum game. It's not a you always check it or you never check it, and that's generally the argument of like fuck that, it's stupid, you don't ever do it, or bullshit, you do it all the time. It's like no, when it's relevant and the opportunity presents itself, you do.
Right.
when
You
it's
get into
not,
muscle
you don't.
But the thing is that Magpul Dynamics at the time was teaching check your chamber first every time.
You know
Right, but
why?
how
Because
do you
they're
check-
winding the gun up to throw the magazine out on the next stroke. Look, fling.
Right.
Well,
so,
no,
so
and
here's
that's
the-
another
What do you
comment.
do
The goal was not to fling
when you're
the mag.
reloading
The mag
your
fling
fucking
was not
gun?
a technique.
What do you do with the
The
magazine?
mag fling
when
was a
empty mag?
byproduct of checking the chamber.
I kept
so
a
as
dump
you're
pouch.
checking the chamber, yes,
You put it in the dump
You've
pouch.
loaded it.
But if I'm in an
but
actual
that
fight,
wasn't
I'm
the
just
goal. Does that
dropping
make
it and throwing
sense? It's
another
like,
one in.
I'm gonna
Right.
kill a motherfucker, but my intent
But
is
you're-
not to kill. My
you're
intent is to stop the
fucking,
threat. If he
you know,
dies, that's
pulling-
fucking sucks.
you're not
So
fucking
it's the same thing. Like I'm looking at the
flipping
chamber,
it out
and
or
as
doing
I'm
anything. You're
getting
just
out the
fucking
way,
drop.
Yeah.
If it happens,
then
great.
bam,
If not, I'll
another
strip
one
it
in
out and
there.
put it in.
Well, I haven't been in any Magpul
he says he just
courses.
dropped
I'm
it,
not
but he
fucking
didn't.
high speed, low
But
drag.
I guess what I'm saying
Damn
is,
it, he's still coming.
my thing was like the whole point of the video was
I want to
checking
see
your
what
chamber
techniques
is
you worked up with
stupid
that spear.
because
That would be
if you check your chamber, you're
Hey,
checking
do
your
you
chamber
ever
every
have someone
time
do a
in a reliable
spear
gun. What the
holster
fuck?
call?
Why? Right? First of all, that's a precious half a
Need an
second that
asp
you're
type
looking in your
spear
chamber.
that you can quickly
And
deploy.
secondly, if you're shooting at somebody, 99% of the time, or at least hopefully, you're behind cover, right? You're either behind
Unless
a
you got the
wall,
balls
or
the
you're
size of
trying to get
Texas.
behind a wall.
Or you're in fucking device padded
Right?
in Vietnam or some shit.
In the kind of fights that we're dealing with, think about it. You're going into that fight, and if you're in an ambush, yeah, you're fucking behind cover.
Right.
You're concealed at least. But and in a lot of our fucking fights that I came up against, you're not fucking fighting from behind cover because
You're
you're
moving.
fucking reactive at that point, and that comes from being cops are reactive, and fucking now the way our military's become, you're reactive.
Right.
Well, you
Alright.
basically turned our military into cops. They're basically clearing houses.
And it's what you got to do. So you got to fight the fight that you have.
Well, you reload wherever the fuck you have to reload.
Yeah, I
But
fucking.
preferably,
I dropped a mag when a guy's shooting at me, and I was running at him still, and I fucking still fucking loaded, and fucking. But he's shooting
Right.
from the hip, and I'm hoping that he's not gonna hit me.
right. But preferably behind cover, right?
If I could, yeah.
if you could,
definitely,
right?
yeah.
So, and preferably, if you can, you're gonna fucking retain your mag, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
because
So
of
what
the
the fuck
environment
is
you're
this
in.
bullshit?
Because you know you're not getting any more mags. And let's be real, a lot of reason why military guys save their mags is they get their ass chewed if they don't. I mean, if it'd be up to me, fuck a mag. They should have thousands of mags back at the fob that when they get done with that operation, because you're not on a mission or on a hit.
But nobody has
jamming
that.
Mag. Well, no, I
Nobody
agree,
has
I agree.
unlimited mags.
No,
ever.
but they
in
should.
any situation.
Uncle Sugar does.
Absolutely, they should. Absolutely, they
You know,
should. But
that
that's
should
not,
not
the
be a
case.
concern.
There's a difference between, look, I mean, you can get on a square range, you can be a cop in a fucking active shooter situation, and like I said in I don't know if it's that video, but another one, if you're a cop in an active shooter situation, dump that fucking mag. Fuck that mag. You can go buy another mag
At
next
Walmart
week.
on your way back to
Right,
the fucking...
on your
yeah.
way back to write up the report. Fuck that mag. But if you're fucking a soldier, fucking Marine, whatever, or you're fucking in shit hits the fan where you may never fucking see another produced mag in your life, you're gonna want to keep that mag if you can.
And I think that's the key
And that's what I
element
said.
that a lot of people, and you did, but that's the key element. I don't think a lot
And
that
people don't
people
listen.
glaze over that. Right, they glaze
don't
over that. It's
listen.
that it is so situationally dependent. You know, again, in a law enforcement role capacity, certain things just simply are not a factor. Like
Well,
I
the
don't
thing is,
need to
like,
factor that.
I mean, those cops, the cops that got fucking killed because they were trying to
Pick up the
pick up the brass and shit for the revolvers. That is the
It's not
fucking.
even a true story.
That's the
It
one.
is.
That's the
Well,
100.
it's not picking up the brass. It's they dump the brass in their hands,
And
and
put
their
it in their
hands were in the
pocket.
pocket. 'cause-
Stick in the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
So the
that's
thing-
where we get the whole training scar
Right.
philosophy
That's
from.
the right. Training scars, and that's the thing. If you're gonna train to the fucking highest level, and that way, if you're like, okay, rip and strip, you know, you're like, okay, shit, I'm out, rip and strip, and you drop the mag, fuck that mag, you go to another mag. But if you fucking, you know, bam, 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 I'm shooting, rip and strip, fucking retain, boom, reload.
Is Jaeger still
That's
teaching
what you
that
should
burn
train
one
to.
thing?
Yeah.
You should train to the highest fucking level, and then wherever you hit it, you're gonna hit it. In reality, you're gonna always hit it at the somewhere lower than the highest level.
When it comes to retaining magazines, like, and situational dependent, all right. Like what I'm thinking of is, in Afghanistan, you have to retain those magazines, because you know where your resupply is coming. It's coming from the air, and you got to fucking rip out the stripper clips and load that shit up. Now, different parts of Iraq, we had to do that too, but for the most part,
Well, Iraq's a little more set up right
yeah,
now.
we were getting fucking, we'd go back, fucking top off our shit. We never had to really worry. Only one time we're like, oh shit, we're red. You know what I'm saying? We're fucking hurting. But a lot of times we're fucking getting resupplied. We're fucking pulling off our dead and wounded. But I got fucking at least fucking 12, 13 guys with me if they're all fucking.
Well, and you got bags of mags and ammo cans and shit
Right,
and an ammo wrap. I mean, you've got shit, but at a certain point,
I'm talking
you
about
start
on
dipping
foot.
into that, you start depleting.
I'm talking on foot, and I'm like, we're fucking here. We gotta fucking Fort Apache this shit or Alamo this, all right? And this is the fucking
That's
fight.
what we got. What we got on us,
Yeah.
what we got.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where we retain as much as we could.
The thing that I'm trying to get across to people is that, you know, I'm not a combat vet, and I'm not fucking the know-it-all of everything, but I have some common sense. And the thing is that I'm trying to talk about 99.9% of the time, I'm talking about a end-of-the-world situation. You're not getting resupplied ever.
Ever, yeah, no, that's
ever,
and
right?
that's a different scenario. No,
Because
you're
I
right.
always,
I
like, the way that I, you know, do my emergency preparedness is to the worst case scenario. The way that I train, worst case scenario.
Plan for the
way
worst,
that
hope
I
for the best.
always train to the worst. I plan for the worst, and all that. That's always my philosophy. And so if the philosophy is like, shit's never gonna ever come back, which would never happen, but let's just say it never does, I'm gonna want every single fucking one of those magazines. If it's life or death, fuck that mag. But anything less than that, I'm keeping it.
And I agree with that 100%. I just don't think that most people get that difference in scenario between a
Who's
patrol
this?
guy responding to an active shooter and, you know, a shit at defense.
Dustin?
Right, and that's the thing is I try to
And they
I try to
get
say
into
that,
one mindset
but,
and they don't think
you know,
beyond that.
99.9% of the time, I always do my videos off the hip. And so sometimes I
That's
miss
clear.
shit.
You don't have a script?
Obviously.
Yeah, and
Is it Brandon?
Brandon.
brand
In
Like
your
Shannon.
defense, if you're in your defense,
Just call him Steve.
Just call me Bob.
Hoss, and in his defense, I think what works for you, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta get in that mindset. What works for you, you know? Like,
well, right. That's what I usually tell people. The first thing I tell people is,
and that's
this is
kind of
what
what he
works.
was saying too. And you're both saying the same thing, all right?
Right.
You're both
Well,
saying
now
the
it's my
same
hitch
thing.
is I caught that he said it. When I watched the video, I heard him say, I don't want to say you didn't say it enough, but you know what I mean. People are going to glaze over that fact. And that's the point that I think is more